Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from my office at the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I'm going to do I'm going to do a reading on two subjects separately. the The subjects are quite separate. Um, just two of my watchers requested that I look into this, so um, let's take a look. And I think that I was talking to my husband Michael about this, and I'm like, I'm getting these questions that are, because usually if I do a reading, it's about, I'll do it on the astrology, I'll connect it with astrology, or I'll do it on something political. Other than that, I don't do a whole lot of card readings. But these are questions that really maybe had little to do with politics, but just interesting questions. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could um, have a little, like, maybe Friday night thing, and I'll call it Because You Asked. That's what it'll be called. So, um, I if I can figure out a way to maybe have you comment on the community page, I'll put something up, and then Because You Asked, and you can put a list of the different things that you'd like me to do reading on. And I can't promise to get them all done, of course. Uh, I'm lucky I get the astrology out every day, believe me. Um, but I'll pick some questions that or maybe if there's something that a lot of people are interested in to learn about. And I guess we could do stuff politically, but I think maybe I'd like to just um, leave it for the odd question. Okay, I think that'll be fun. So I'm saying it. Hopefully, I can figure out how to do it. Um, Maybe I'll do a Because You Asked picture or something, and then you can just put it below. All right. Well, I should probably talk to Ona. She could probably help me out. She could probably do it for me. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So, what was the question? Didn't mention it. So, I have a watcher. You know who you are because we've spoken on the phone a couple of times, and you sent me a letter. And she is, I believe she's from Brazil, but she lives here in the States. And, she has family in Brazil, of course. And she told me that there was a real delay in people in Brazil uh, their getting their mail from the United States. She was under the impression that Donald Trump had done something to cause that, and that she was wondering if Joe Biden was going to back that, you know, change it the way he changed so many things that Trump brought in. So I said that I would, and it was a request a little while ago. So thank you for your patience, my dear. Um, so I did do a little research on it. I actually have a good friend who's from Brazil. I should probably just call him up and ask him if he's having the same issue. I don't know if maybe it's a local thing for family that she knows or people that she knows, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a Brazil thing. Now, of course, Brazil is one of the other countries that is um, is in the throes of this pandemic. There's a lot of people sick and dying, and in Brazil because of it, mainly because Bolsonaro just followed Trump's lead, um, and so there was really kind of a buddy buddy with him and Trump. And then I think this is what I saw on Google actually. And then Trump wanted to put tariffs on Brazil. I don't know if he ever did that. And I don't know what Biden's going to do with Brazil. And I'm just telling you what I know, like what I know about this. I do know that Biden probably, and this, I don't know this for a fact, but we could probably put money on it, that Biden does not appreciate Bolsonaro and the way he took power even. by putting his by having his opponent go to jail. So he won. And the opponent, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, was doing very, he was well loved, and he was definitely, going towards victory. But of course, he was more left leaning, power of the people kind of, um, power of the people, not necessarily populist, but like, taking care of each other kind of idea. And so they couldn't let him take over, right? Um, so, it's really weird. And I know this is supposed to be about the mail not getting delivered on time. But it's just, there's something afoot with these. Um, there's something afoot with these dictatorships. These all these dictators coming up for control, right? Um, it's not going to work. We're going in the opposite direction. It may take a while for us to get there, but we're not going in that direction, and the world is not either. We have to become much more cooperative. Otherwise, we're not going to survive. So that's simple enough. Um, so, we'll see. And of course, um, Bolsonaro is also, you know, making making more of a more fires in the Amazon. And if we're going to take global warming seriously, we're going to have to step up on that. We're going to have to stop that from happening. There's going to have to be some sort of limit on the development of the Amazon, not simply because they're burning down all the trees, but what they're doing to the indigenous populations. There needs to be more control there. So um, to protect them, as opposed to more control to oppress them. So let's see. What is the delay in the mail going from the United States to Brazil? Um, we have the Hermit card to start, crossed by the Nine of Wands. So what this says to me mostly is that people just are not going out. Not There's less activity in the outer world, more activity in the inner world. People may be afraid of COVID, and so they're staying home. Um, and so maybe they can't work, right? They're like, oh, or they're afraid, or they get sick and they can't work. Say they work in the post office, right, in Brazil, and they can't work. So there's this, and then of course we have to add the fact that Donald Trump put somebody in charge of the post office to slow the mail down, to slow the mail down. That was his purpose, and so hence we have slowed mail. He's still in there, incidentally. And then it's crossed by this sort of world weary but ready to fight once again warrior. So there is it really goes against the nature, I think, of the Brazilian people to stay still, to not move, to not express themselves, to not hug each other and sing to each other and kiss each other. They're passionate people, and you're asking them because of COVID, or maybe you're not even asking them. I mean, Bolsonaro didn't really ask them, but if they themselves are holding themselves back, the energy is just um, it feels to me more energetic. It feels to me more energetic. So let's see what's at the root of this. Um, Actually, this is the wedding card. I don't know. Like, I think Bolsonaro and Trump were buddies, right? So they might have had some sort of thing that had to do with slowing down the mail, like just slowing for some other reason. I feel like it was an agreement at a party. He's like, hey, so like it could have not even been that much of a plan. It could have just been you know, I don't know. Trump could have said, a lot of people send money to Brazil from America, and it's America first. So if you could slow that down, that'd be good because more money would stay in America. Something stupid like that, right? I mean, I'm not even saying that actually happened. Just as an example. Um, so it seems like there's been sort of some sort of pact. There's been some sort of pact. Okay, let's see what's in the past. Um, I the first thing, well, this is the King of Wands, and the first thing I thought of was somebody. The wands very often are associated with commerce, right? Activity, action, and money exchanging, and creativity, and selling your wares and stuff. Um, so there's an energy here of opportunity. Somehow this was seen as an opportunity. Oh, my hands are so dry. I never use, I wash my hands all the time, but I don't like using the antibacterial stuff because it's not. It's not really good for you to lose your natural occurring bacteria on your skin because then your skin breaks down and all that. Um, but oh my god, I guess the cold weather. My hands, they feel like sandpaper. Oh, it's awful. In the sky we have the cups. So I feel as though the intention of this somehow is to bring more abundance or happiness or oh, okay, I think I know what this is. um I feel like if it is an intentional thing on the side of Brazil, right, just Brazil, it would have been a favor, wanting to curry favor, wanting to curry favor. I think that's what that is. Let's see the immediate future. We have the Queen of Cups. I almost feel like what's going to happen with this is that a woman is going to take charge of something. Um, it's funny. I know it's a different country. I know that, but when I saw the first thing I looked at when I saw this card, like just this time and never before, uh, Evita came to mind. And I know Evita was Argentina, and we're talking about Brazil. I know it's different country, different language, that I know. Um, but I almost feel like there is a woman that is aristocratic. There's an aristocratic, powerful woman here. So she comes from money, but she doesn't like the injustice. She doesn't like the injustice, and so she stands up for the people that normally that class of people might um, take advantage of, financially or whatever. She's different. She stands up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. I almost feel like she's a mother energy. And I don't know if there's anybody in Brazilian politics that has anything that fits that bill. So I don't know. I don't know, but I heard Evita. So she's definitely somebody. I just lost all my. Oh, here they are. Sorry. It's like, where did I put my cards? It's so dark. I have it so dark here. And because the light coming from this way is like the best light at this time of day. Um, so I'm lighting myself the best I can, but I don't have a lot of light on my cards, so I couldn't find. Thought I lost them. How this is seen from the outside. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. I feel like instead of this reading is about the mail from in Brazil. This is a reading about Brazil. Um, I feel like whatever's going on in Brazil is is this guy Bolsonaro just trying to have Trump admire him. Uh, and so he maybe thought that a connection to such a powerful businessman would improve the commerce of Brazil, would improve Brazil as a power, an economic power in the world. And I think he was doing it with the idea that, um, ultimately this was going to help his people. Now, I don't know anything about him. I would not have said that just going by the facts, right? Of the facts I've uh, read about him. But the cards are just telling me are just a little bit of a different story. But I feel like a woman is going to a woman is going to come in and be a powerful force for change in Brazil. And it's not far away. It's not far off. I wonder I don't know who his wife is. I think his wife, did his wife's brother die of COVID or something like that? Maybe I'm imagining that. Um, but I feel like the woman in his life is, and I feel this very aristocratic, powerful, smart, but very loving kind of energy, who kind of knows how to work in those upper echelons of power, um, maybe to even know what their weakness is, so that she can utilize it in her own career, or her own, or even just what she feels her country deserves. Um, and so, from the outside looking in, um, how it's seen from the outside, the Six of Pentacles, I feel like in all, it's going to it's seen from afar as some sort of balancing of something, some sort of balancing. It's not just the American voters that got scammed, that Donald Trump was a great business person. He's a terrible business person. And but people believed him, and countries believed him. They're like, "Oh, if Donald Trump says it, then it must be. I mean, he's a big businessman, you know." And so this is the a domestic situation. Domestic situation. This is government, and I'm not sure. I'm going to see what else that means. So the structure of the government is on people's mind. The structure of the government is what people are at home thinking about. Like, this sucks, or this is great, depending on, who you are and how much money you have. Right? So we'll see. Hopes and fears. Yeah, they're in a pickle. They're in a pickle. This is worry and peril, and there's an energy of being forced to utilize your intuition, and in order to get out of the minefield of the mind. That's what this card often reminds me of. So there is this um, terror. There's fear, and then there's terror. I feel like there's a real terror um, there. The energy is that sharp. Is that sharp? Let's see. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm happy to see this. I feel like for Brazil, um, I feel like they have to. Okay, okay. Never mind. Um, I'm just thinking that um, that they're going to work well with the Biden administration in whichever way they need to advance themselves, right? I feel like, and I feel like if they if he says, "Hey, look, you got to start taking care of this, or you can't be burning down the rainforest. You have to figure out another way." If America is saying that to him, I don't think he would be uh, averse to that. I think he'd be like, "All right, well, if it's going to get Brazil what Brazil needs, then let's do it." I don't think I don't. From these cards, it doesn't seem like he was married to being an authoritarian. I feel like he did what he felt he had to do. Now, I could be absolutely wrong because I know nothing about Brazil's politics, uh, except that Bolsonaro is kind of a Trumpian. That's the only thing I really know, right? So everything I said is just what came into my head doing these cards. Um, so to answer the question about the mail, my feeling is, I don't think that um, I don't think that they taught. What do I want to say? I I think that it was in the mind of the leader of Brazil that aligning with Donald Trump was going to be good for business, good for business, and I think that's what which of course is wrong because he's not a good businessman. So following his lead is like following somebody off a cliff, right? So, all right. So that was one question. The mail. Did I answer it? No. I think it's because of COVID. I think it's because of COVID. Things are slowed down on this side. Things are slowed down on the other side. Do I think it's going to get better? I do, because I think as the Biden administration does what the Biden administration is going to do, and they fill in different jobs and this, that, and the other thing, that things are going to start to um, get better in that respect, and might ultimately get better in Brazil. I mean, wouldn't that be wonderful? You know, it's a beautiful, holy place full of very loving and vibrant people. I've never been to Brazil. I have never been to Brazil, but I live in Massachusetts, and there's a lot of Portuguese in Massachusetts. And I think it's like the major ethnic group of this area is Portuguese. And because they speak Portuguese here, there was always a lot of Brazilians that would come to work here because they already had, like, you know uh, I'm sure a lot of them spoke English anyway, but at least they had a community, right, of people who spoke Portuguese that they could come. Um, and so, I've known a lot of Brazilians over the years, and they're fun and they're hardworking, and they know the value of a dollar in a way that Americans don't, I don't think, do, because we don't have to. We don't have to, for the most part. For the most part, we don't have to, but not like Brazil. I mean, it's a lot of hand to mouth, right? The second question, I'm just keep going on and on about Brazil. Maybe I should just make this. You know what? I'm going to make this one video, and then the second question, because it's such a different question, I'm going to make on a separate video. So I asked about the mail. Something else came through. A little on Brazil. I do think it's going to get better for both countries, both economically. I think mostly ecologically for Brazil, because I don't think economically they were doing all that bad. Um, but ecologically, I think it's going to get better. And I might be wrong about the other things, so I don't know. But the ecology is, and that people want to be a part of the rainforest. People want to go and be in the energy of the rainforest. So what they don't get from whatever this clear cutting for cattle, they could get, with tourism and different things like that. I mean, people want to know what other parts of the world are like, and I think there's more of a feeling for people to have experienced the land and I mean, you can go to Italy, right, as an example, although it might not be the best example. You can go to Italy and you can go on a tour and you can learn the history and see all the beautiful art and meet a couple of Italians, your waiter, or you can live with, go visit family or family's family and live with them and be in their energy and go with them to the market in the morning to get what they're going to eat that night. Just beautiful farmers markets, right? That kind of experience. Getting being closer to the land and the way people actually live. I think that's the future. I think that's the kind of experience people are going to want to have when they travel. You know, that's what I think, but maybe that's just me. All right, guys, much love. And because you asked, right? Okay, bye.